Netflix is going to Netflix. We all know this is true. Every time they make something like this, it's very similar to the Anne Boleyn thing that FX made. Netflix debuts Cleopatra docuseries that portrays the queen as black. That would actually be less interesting if it wasn't for the fact that that actually becomes the focus of the trailer. If you watch the actual trailer, they talk about arguing about what Cleopatra looked like. That becomes, there's a couple of like really funny lines.
It's different even from what FX did with Anne Boleyn, race swapping her to a black woman, because that at least was a fictionalized portrayal. Netflix is producing this as a documentary that teaches you about history. Yeah. And one of the documentary interviewees in this trailer literally says, my grandmother always told me, don't listen to what they tell you in school. Cleopatra was a black woman.
Yeah, that's an actual line that she says.
Don't care about the truth. Cleopatra was black.
What did AOC say? It doesn't. It's better to be morally right than factually correct.
I do not have a whole lot of Alexandria occasional cortexes quotes.
But this is, I mean, this is a stereotypical Netflix thing. Does anybody remember this when this came out? When people were posting these pictures about Elon, the Netflix movie, and
a ton of different examples where if you race swapped this person whom we all know is white,
who was Greek and Macedonian.
It's just a cheap gesture at inclusivity and representation that means nothing and is actually patronizing.
Yep.
And all of the comments that I'm seeing so far are negative.
Oh, there was a lot of people who were Greek who were actually saying like this was extremely offensive, and then people here in America are just like first time like.
Yeah, I mean, also there was no concept of the way that we view race in her time. Yeah. Like the way we view race in America is sort of more of a binary, if anything, that's just quite literally black and white. And the way that Black Americans think of themselves as black is not something that Africans in that day and age thought of themselves.
Do you remember this picture from like the internet, from like your textbook when you were like, they just can't get it right. Like they just keep going to opposite ends of the extreme. Like you got to find your way somewhere in the middle.
That's probably a little bit closer than just depicting a black American.
And people are not happy with this, guys. The trailer right now had 60,000 downvotes.
I'm not happy with any of it at all.
60,000. Let's refresh and see what it's at. I mean,
if you can't make
77,000.
If you can't make a historical series about this time period without attaching all of your modern baggage to it and modern racial politics to it, then just don't bother.
And they're saying this is in a series about about black queens.
Yeah, this is one of now many that are going to be produced by Jada Pinkett Smith. Can't imagine why someone like Jada Pinkett Smith would have a vested interest in inflating her own ego.
77,000 downvotes to 11,000 upvotes on this trailer right now.
This is fan fiction. This is a self-insert of Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oof. You know what it makes me think of? You know how we've had this discussion before about how like the first thing to die when the internet became popular was old wives' tales. Like everybody in my high school class or my junior high class heard the rumor that Marilyn Manson had a rib removed. Yes. And somehow, even though nobody had the internet, everyone heard that rumor. Netflix is literally paying. Yeah, Netflix is paying billions of dollars to be able to keep old wives' tales going with this.
It's not even an old wives' tale. This was something that was cooked up by academia in the 2010s, if anything. Nobody who's actually a serious investigator of history thinks that this is the case. All of these comments are saying Cleopatra came from an incestuous bloodline. Meaning, first of all, she probably wasn't hot.
Yeah, there was like I've seen mixed things. Like some people saying she was extremely beautiful, and other people saying that that's cap.
Yeah, but secondly,
not true.
I don't believe that there was anyone extremely beautiful before the year 1900.
Her ancestry is from Greece. She's Greek or Macedonian.
Yeah.
meaning she would look like what modern day Mediterranean people look like, which I guess in our modern framework would be a white person.
It looked like they were Israelis or Palestinians or Greek or Italians.
Which is
or
funny.
Like
I mean, it depends on who you ask. If it's an
You know?
ignorant American, they would probably say, yeah, you're either black or white.
Well, yeah. That's
I don't know why this is so
dumb.
important to them.
The other thing that's interesting about this is that not that
Olive-skinned
long ago,
person, you know?
there was a Cleopatra movie, not a documentary, being made starring Gal Gadot.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
produced by Patty Jenkins, and I don't know if that's still going forward.
Gal
Look,
Gadot
no
is
one can
stuff-
do it like
so
Elizabeth
hot.
Taylor.
Yes, you are correct.
Clef the Misfit said, it's not an old wives' tale, it's a new Wynant's tale.
Okay, well then that's what they're here
Yeah,
for.
you said it.
We had old wives' tales when we were kids, and now they have new Wynant tales that they get to spread.
Oh, why not Tails? Okay.
That's what it is. And for this, I think the Gal Gadot movie could be a lot more interesting, and I don't think the backlash would matter. I don't think people would care as much because she's such a
I don't know why it needs to be done again. Elizabeth Taylor did it.
yep.
And another old wives' tale is that Elizabeth Taylor had purple eyes.
Really?
Which is just patently false.
Where
It's
did that
not
come from?
something that happens naturally. It's just that she had a very deep shade of blue eyes, but everyone said that they were violet
Okay.
because it adds to the mystique of her. as a
Mao
star.
in the chat, Mao Attack says Gal playing Cleo would be an insult because she's Israeli, because she's Jewish. Why would that be an insult?
I have no idea.
Also, when it comes to the box office, there is such a thing as they have to worry about who's going to put butts in seats, and she's one of the female. Margot Robbie can't be the only female draw. There have to be other women.
Margot Robbie couldn't play Cleopatra.
No, she couldn't. So they need somebody else. And Gal Gadot is one of the biggest female draws there is in Hollywood
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So
one comment said it's hilarious how much they care about Cleopatra because it's literally the only one they know. They are so ignorant about actual Egyptian history.
Well, to be fair, they're probably ignorant about all history.
Yes. Well,
saying because of
willfully
the-
so. We have the information. It's just it depends on what you're willing to accept.
Who needs to go look for information? Get a name, make up some BS, put it out there. Done.
Cleopatra fighting Napoleon while saving Wakanda brought tears
There
to
you
my
go.
eyes.
That's what I'm talking about. And then make it based on real events.
yes. They're saying that the Gal Gadot couldn't do it because of the Israel-Egyptian war.
I thought that was settled. I thought that the debt they gave the Sinai Peninsula back to Egypt and
Well, there's two. It's just two. Maybe they just won't forget. They
Maybe
just,
not.
just can't
I don't
forget.
know.
I
But
loved the
I-
part when she said Avengers Assemble. Truly iconic. Heart eyes emoji.
Not just that, guys, but a bunch of things seem to be taking the downvote L lately. The Marvels ended up being the most downvoted trailer in the history of Marvel. 370 downvotes.
we are 15 years post the first
Yeah.
Marvel movie.
It's at 389 now.
The people that are watching Marvel movies now are not the same people that were watching Marvel movies when Iron Man and the
Yeah.
Marvel first group came out. I don't know who Marvel is chasing anymore.
Why not?
No, that's not true.
Star Wars is chasing why not?
Statistically, Wynants are not watching Marvel movies.
I didn't say that they were watching it. I said that they're chasing them. I
They're
think
chasing
that,
young people.
I guess with Harry
And
Styles.
young people don't give a shit about Marvel.
hiring Harry Styles could be. But the funny thing is, I didn't find this trailer to be 389,000 downvote
It wasn't-
material. It was just kind of it made me ambivalent.
The Marvels trailer wasn't any worse than any other
No.
Marvel trailers that are coming out right now, but I think it's because people are so fatigued with not only superhero movies but also the feminism that gets injected into them, especially with Brie Larson's.
I was just gonna say, I think that's
Presence.
probably more on Brie Larson, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mostly the lack of goodwill between
Which is
the
funny 'cause-
audience and her.
I found her to be the least frustrating part of that trailer.
She
Yeah,
actually
she's only
was,
in
yeah.
it for 8 seconds.
I know.
They're like, just show as little of Brie Larson as possible.
She's got a
in that
flat
trailer.
stomach. She's looking good. I just
She
put her
can't
in-
say much.
Put her
They're
in
like,
as
look, just a flash of blonde hair and blue and red, and you're good. That's
Yeah.
all we need.
Yeah.
Well, also, like she seemed like frustrated and annoyed, and she was actually emoting or trying to emote.
I really don't find Iman Vellani compelling in any way. Why don't they? I'm sorry. Look.
No, you're not.
She's not very easy on the eyes. How about that?
Okay.
I don't understand why Hollywood is going in this direction where they don't hire hot people anymore.
Because they hate.
I'm very confused.
Beauty.
And
Yeah,
I'm not
they hate
saying that to
beauty.
put her down as a person. I'm just saying.
I think what
because
it is
the left
like
hates beauty.
the reason why it doesn't work for me with her is it's not because of that. It's because the things that people love about her is that they feel that she is an extremely endearing in her love for the role. But right now, the last thing I like seeing is seeing characters that are excited to play superheroes. Like, I don't want to see a character that becomes a superhero excited to be a superhero. I want to see them reserved at the fact that they've been given this duty that's actually dangerous. When a character seems excited about it, it takes away from the stakes.
It's the same. Yes, the gravity of the situation.
Yes.
I do understand that, and there's a lot to be said for that. I think that is something that is due to the writers, and I think that same notion is the notion that, or the same kind of impulse is the same impulse that made Rey automatically badass.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that made Captain Marvel when she first landed on Earth or whatever. The first thing she does is robs a guy in a bad way, like trying to be like, oh, we're gonna do the Terminator thing, totally missing that the Terminator is the effing bad guy. It's the Terminator. You know, it's like, so it's almost like people not understanding how you create a character. It's bad writing.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.